Gracie Insider Technique of the Month, Henner Gracie, Halen Gracie. Some of you have met him before. Do you remember when? Gracie Insider Technique of the Month, somewhere in 2008. Triangle choke. He was the victim. He was the kid getting choked out by my brother Hito. Now, back then he had no choice. He was walking by, we pulled him in, choked him out, kept it real. But things have changed since then. Halen now has a choice. Halen used to be our little brother. Used to be? The way it works in the family is this. You're a little brother as long as you get choked out daily. Eventually, when you learn how to protect your neck and you can survive the chokes, you go from a little brother to just a younger brother. Halen is now my younger brother. I'm proud he made it, and it's all good.
Sorry I was late. My flight was delayed a few years, but I'm back and ready for action. For those of you who don't know, Hidon, Henner, and Halleck, my 3 older brothers, choked me out thousands and thousands of times. Now, what that means is I've learned a few tricks and little tips along the way. So, I'm ready to show you guys one here. A very good one. When you're mounted, my favorite position, and of course, you have the standard Americana arm lock from the neck hug variation here. When you feed the wrist and you come under, now, of course, you can loop it and break there. It's all gravy, except when you go and you think you have it all set up, and once you go to loop, they just grab my elbow over there. This is very annoying for anyone who's ever experienced it. Now, I have a move to save you here. So check it out. I'm here, standard Americana. I come under. So this is from, you still have the hand around the neck. When I try to loop it, he grabs my bicep. So we transfer from the Americana into the arm triangle. My right elbow, or the front side elbow, the one that's in the junction, picks up his arm here. I tuck my head behind his elbow deep. To make sure his hand doesn't come out in between our heads, I have to really pinch my head to his head here. Hold this tight. Check out my hands here. No thumbs, locked tight. Now, once I get this secured, I can, with the back leg, step off of the body and then sprawl out here with my hips low and my legs back. Notice the angle of our bodies. I'm teed off. We're not very aligned here because then he can roll towards me this way. So, foot out for base. Head tight to make sure the arm doesn't slip out. And now, once I get this locked here, most people do squeeze from here, or some can, some can't. It depends. If his neck's very, very big, I would stay here and just squeeze from this position. But if he's maybe a smaller neck, or I just have long arms, I can go in to here, grab my bicep, put this hand behind my head, and then I switch my legs. I sit through. So my hips are now exposed to the sky here, and my front leg and my back leg are still up for base. And now I squeeze his head in this way, towards my hips. It's good. One more time. So we're mounted. I come in, I try to isolate the wrist, maybe use my knee, pin the hand, feed it. Whatever, I get it here. Now, we're ready to go. He blocks. Man, I go here. If he's really resisting my arm on the pickup, and it's like I feel like all his energy is pushing my elbow down, I'm not going to try to dive my head because I have to move my elbow just a little bit, and it's going to go down. So I try to leverage it. If he's really fighting it, maybe I'll go back down. And then once I feel him loosen, I pick it up, and I shoot my head behind. Now, I transfer to this for now. If you know you're going to go to the bicep hold, you still have to stop here halfway. And now, I step off, sprawl out, grab my bicep, hand behind the head, switch my hips, and now crush his head into my legs, tighten my whole body here, and squeeze with the arms. You'll feel it. Once you get this arm locked up with the bicep here, and to put this hand behind your head is pretty tough. But what that means is, once you get it there, the whole move is very locked up tight. You okay?
Yes.
Good. Talk about people squeezing too fast, right? Too much and not holding it. Yeah, this move is a little tricky because you'll be squeezing and you might hear your opponent breathing. That doesn't mean he's fine down there. He might be breathing, but his blood is getting cut off. His blood circulation is stopped. So just continue holding. Don't squeeze at 90% of your max. Go down to about 60, 70%. Just kind of hold on, snug. But then, because you're not squeezing as hard, it might take a little bit longer. So just kind of chill out there. That's why sitting your hips through and getting that comfortable position is pretty nice. So, feed the wrist, come under, he blocks it, I raise. If he's really resisting, I don't go. I wait till he relaxes, and then I put my head down. Make sure that your head stays connected with his head so his arm can't slip out. How does it slip out? Show us. Out this way. So, I keep it this way, head tight, and I'm pulling the arms also. Now, once I'm here, I step off, sprawl out, hips very low. Make sure you keep the head control tight here. And then I grab my bicep. Notice this, I can't reach. I reach with this hand. The one that's getting grabbed, I let my hand grab there. And now I put my hand behind my head. And from here, once I have the tight lock up, I sit through and just kind of snugly, pull him into my legs here. It's a very tight move. It's a little uncomfortable even for the top person, but that feeling of being uncomfortable is all like wrapped around his neck, so he's 100%. Much more comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll find when you're doing this move on someone's neck who's very big, huge neck, huge shoulders or whatever, you can't physically reach your own bicep for the lockup. So you'll go ahead and finish the choke from palm to palm control, okay? So from here, you can squeeze from there. Obviously it's not as much leverage, but you can get some good pressure, hold it. The most important understanding is what Halen said about a delayed squeeze. If you try to do this choke and make them tap out or pass out in 4 or 5 seconds, it's not gonna happen. It's called a slow choke. It takes time. Because it's indirect pressure. Their arm is in the mix, so therefore you're choking through their arm to their artery. So it will take at least 10, 15 seconds. So wrap it up, be patient. Like Halen said, squeeze at 60, 70% for a prolonged squeeze rather than 100% for 3 seconds. Let it ride out. It's incredible. And it works. It's so easy to get that neck hug situation that if you can't loop around, or even if you can loop around, but you choose not to because you prefer to go use this transition Halen showed us, great idea, great technique, and it's all good.
Yeah, watch your base too. Anytime during the setup, before the loop around, if the person goes crazy, like we all know, position before submission, don't sacrifice the move for,
Yeah, definitely. You got to make sure that you stay mounted, and you only should jump off if it's very secure, because you're letting go of the mount. So let's not sacrifice the mount unless we know we have something worthwhile to hold on to and close the deal on the way out. But arm triangle transition from the neck hug variation of the Americana arm lock. Halen showed it to you. Perfect it, 100%. Just one thing. Promise that when you come visit us, you won't use it against us. We'll see you guys next month.